What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kinda Isolated. This week, I've got a very special guest, Lauren Abedini, also known as Kittens. She is an amazing DJ, producer, savant, I like to call you. You are also a wonderful person who does a lot of things. You have a wonderful workshop called Power, which is you give a platform for women to learn how to DJ. And you give it benefits charities for LGBTQ, correct? I met Kittens many years ago. She was actually also, when I was starting in Hollywood, I was playing a club called Dre's, and were you booking me then?
Yes, I was the talent buyer.
This is crazy. A lot of people don't know this, but she was the talent buyer, and I didn't have much talent then, but
you did. You were like the safest person to book. Like we always knew that everyone was gonna like you, so it was like solid. Like you knew how to handle things.
Did you know that Victor Dre fired me?
Oh, he fired me too.
Okay, so
he pulled me off the decks because I kept playing hip hop when you told me not to play.
That was I was playing up there, and I remember it was always like Victor Dre's around, only play house music, which is fine, but everybody would always come up, can you play more of this, whatever. So I think it was like literally towards the very end of my set, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, just going around. I was starting to kind of leave a little bit. I'm like, all right, I'll put on a hip hop song. It was the one hip hop song I played. Here comes Victor Dre out of the fucking rafters. Shout out Victor Dre. His son's awesome though in Vegas.
Also, Dre's Vegas is incredible.
Yes, it is. We're not hating on it.
Yeah, love there.
This show is called Kinda Isolated, and we do drink in the show. So we have a cocktail. This first one is one that I picked. You chose whiskey this week, so I made a whiskey drink as well. This is a whiskey smash.
It smells fresh.
Yes, amazing. Lemon, whiskey, mint, and simple syrup. Simple syrup. There we go.
Delicious.
So cheers to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being a DJ.
I'll give you a big sprout. Ooh, that is. I feel like I'm a Southern gentleman right here drinking it's almost like a mint julep, but
that's delightful.
That's really nice.
That's fresh.
Yeah, we like that.
Get the mint out of the way.
We have been doing kind of like, because this is also a podcast, kind of like an ASMR, for people if they like it. Like,
oh yeah.
So yeah, feel free to make any sort of noises into the microphone you want. Ooh. Have you done this before?
No, I've watched a lot of ASMR.
Okay, so first off, I brought up Power earlier, but you want to tell everybody, I probably butchered it, but you want to tell everybody, tell us about Power.
So yeah, when I was getting started DJing and when Dre's was closed, I no longer had the full-time job and I was just DJing full-time. And it was going well, but I was like, I need to make some extra cash. So I started teaching at a music school and I was teaching their DJ classes.
Okay.
And in that class, there was mostly dudes and then there'd be one or two girls. And the difference I saw between how men and women approached learning something new was just really next level for me. So the guys would be really overcompensating and kind of cocky when there was something they didn't know how to do. They were just the first to step up and make a big deal about it. And I got this, even if they suck. Everyone sucks. You're learning something new. You're going to suck. But the girls were nervous to try, a little bit passive, a little bit uncomfortable, kind of I don't know if I want to, worried they were going to make themselves look dumb and be judged and all that. And I was like, this is not the right vibe for learning. And then I thought back to, over the years, I was thinking of all of my experiences just being a woman and DJing. And I just felt like there was so much that I had experienced that I wanted to pass on to other women that I thought would be helpful to know. And I wanted to have a safer space to learn, to feel like you're not being judged, to feel like you can relate to everybody and also kind of create a sense of community.
Right.
And it was amazing once we first started doing them. All these girls connected. And so we made it into a Facebook group and they would go to each other's, I have my first show at a bar, and they'd go, or they trade music and all this stuff. And it was just so amazing seeing that. And we started selling the tickets for that, which thank God I did not need any more money. I was doing well enough on my own that I was like, okay, cool. I don't need this. So let's find a way to give back to the community. So anytime we throw a workshop, the girls would come and I'd ask them to bring anything they wanted to donate to a shelter. So they'd bring clothes and like, tampons and shampoo and just random stuff like that.
Right.
And then, so that would be donated to the Women's Center downtown. And then all the money from ticket sales would be donated either to the LGBT Center or the Women's Center as well. And we were able to do a really big one in New York, which was super amazing. And yeah, it's just been so satisfying to help people learn something new and feel comfortable trying something new, especially in a space that like you don't see much of yourself represented.
Women are definitely not represented and underrepresented, excuse me, in this scene. I feel like it's so funny because I feel as a man guilty a little bit, in terms of I came up and you don't realize that you're benefiting off the system, in that sense. And, you never are like, oh, I don't want a woman or this or that, but you oftentimes don't even realize the problem is there, right? And I think the problem is a lot of people don't realize that there's even an issue out there, that women aren't getting the opportunities, they're looked over. And oftentimes, like you said in the beginning, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like there's a hesitation to even take a step into it because they feel ridiculed, they feel,
Totally. And even once you're in there, I mean, like every girl that I know, no matter how successful they are in the industry, will experience really uncomfortable stuff. And whether it's, getting started and you don't have a team yet, like I didn't have an agent or a manager. And thankfully from my years at Dre's, I knew what it was like to be on the other side. I knew what it was like dealing with somebody booking and dealing with agents. So I made a fake agent and
That's
I
amazing.
made Denise. And Denise would do all my booking for me.
So you are Denise.
I am Denise, which was inspired by Denise at AM Only back in the day.
So now that we've had our first couple sips of this wonderful drink, we've learned about a little bit about power.
Mm-hmm.
This is whiskey, which is you requested for both drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any alcohol that you avoid, like any type of alcohol? Is there a particular type of alcohol you don't like?
I'm not a fan of vodka.
Okay.
I did not like tequila until recently. And I only like it in like a margarita form. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. I think it smells horrendous most of the time, but it needs to be like mixed with yummy things.
Good thing I didn't pick one of my favorite. Tequila's my favorite. So
I'm sorry.
I always want to put that. You don't apologize to me. See,
I'm sorry, tequila.
This just feels like very summery.
It's nice.
You can't tell right now, but the sun just went down. It's beautiful.
Lovely sunset.
Don't you feel better? The days are getting longer now.
Oh my god! When it was dark at 4, I was just like, "Where?"
Whoever created daylight savings time just needs to just be taken out back.
Why is that a thing still? Like, what benefit is that giving anyone to be like, "All right, guys, sun's going down early"?
No, there's literally no. I mean, apparently it was made for farmers to be able to get up earlier, and I'm not a farmer, as you can tell. I'm a DJ. So I don't know. I can't, I don't want to speak for farmers, but
majority of people are not farmers.
Correct. Yes, so. That you are right. Yes, but I think I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think there's anyone that likes it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And also, if you are a farmer, why can you not just wake up earlier anyways? Why do we need to change the clock?
Yeah, why do we need to care about the farmers?
Like, I care about the farmers.
Why do we need to worry about what they want to do? No.
Yeah, like it's you want to wake up early, you wake up early.
I mean I get it, but it's like it's also I don't get it.
It's a bit much.
So with the pandemic, obviously we've been like everything sucked.
Yep.
Life blows. But there's been some silver linings. Like for myself, I have pretty much made an entire album. I'm really excited about.
Oh, amazing.
How about for you? Any silver linings? What music coming out?
I took the longest break from DJing that I have since I started, which was so nice. Like I still haven't. I haven't DJed since July, but it's been so nice to have that time to pause and realign and be like, okay, what do I actually like?
Right.
And what do I actually really, really want to do? What makes me feel most me? What makes me feel fulfilled? And yeah, so this whole time I've been learning a few different things. So I learned how to do video editing and motion graphics, and I've been working on my own show, and I have been working on music and just learning piano and stuff, and just so yes, music is going to come later in the year, but the most surprising thing was pausing from DJing, because I felt like once everything locked down, everyone was like, all right, we got to go on Twitch. We have to do the live stream. We have to DJ, and I was like, the thing that I get the most joy from when DJing is the energy exchange with people.
Yep.
And so to be in my room alone, it made me like severely depressed. I was like, I can't do this. This is going to make me feel unwell. So I need to just pause. And doing that was really liberating. And even though it's like we didn't know what the hell was going to happen with life, making that decision to just do what felt good in the moment to cope through the craziness was just nice.
I feel like we're, as we speak as Americans, as people, as just people living in this century, we're so programmed to be go, go, go 24/7.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, and especially here in America, with everything being, how much money can you make, how much can you do, and we always feel like there's a competition between each other. Whether it's social media, whether it's competing with other DJs for a slot or for production or for whatever. And I think that, like what you said was spot on. It was very, like, you needed a refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you were doing a show.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So
plug your show on my show.
It's called She.
You're also not drinking.
I know. I'm sorry.
This actually is quite strong. I need to start drinking more. I haven't been drinking during quarantine, which is funny because apparently drinking's up during quarantine. And it's not even really, it's not even really quarantine anymore, but it still is quarantine.
It should be.
Here in LA, it's been pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max.
So yeah, my show is called She, Her, They, and it is basically, it started out as a playlist because I realized there was no central discovery zone for LGBTQ and non-binary femme and trans women who were artists. They were just like you couldn't find them all in one spot. And all of the LGBT playlists and things like that were very like, you got Sam Smith on there and Britney Spears, like you got the Allies and all these things, which is great. But there's just such a huge community of women and femmes right now that are making the sickest music that's just so inspiring to me. So I was like, let me just dump them all in one spot. And, I would just communicate with my followers like, hey, if you guys hear somebody new, I don't care like how small they are, if it's their first single out, whatever, please send it to me so I can check it out and like try and amplify them, their work however I can. And then once I did that, I was like, man, I know a lot of these people personally. A lot of them are friends of mine. And I figured it would be helpful for some little kid who's in Illinois who feels like they can't come out because they don't see anyone like them, or somebody who's, queer or something that just doesn't feel like they have representation. So they're sticking to a certain narrative that maybe their parents are pushing on them. So I wanted to make the show where I'm talking to my friends who don't really talk about this stuff as openly, and talk to them about identity, about their art, about music, about living life outside of the mold that society pushes on you as a woman, as a queer person, as a career person, as a musician, all these things. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And
that's awesome.
It's coming out soon.
Can you shout out anybody that you think deserves some praise, to maybe my audience or someone who's watching this?
Oh my God, there's
I put you on the spot. That's right.
People who you might not be as aware of, let me think.
Yeah.
One of my favorites who was actually on the show, her name's Xylo, and she's from the UK. She's
I know Xylo.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I literally found her because I had my Spotify on like some shuffle situation. And anytime someone's singing and I can like hear a girl use a girl as like a love pronoun in song, I'm like, wait a second. But yeah, she's incredible, really soulful voice. Like the girl can sing her ass off. And then ASEAN, she's also incredible. She's from here. She has the same manager as 21 Savage, but she's just got this soulful, beautiful voice, really dope R&B. Those are some of my favorites. Also Donna Missile, she's sick. Like the girl can wail. The first time I heard her sing, it sounded like Janis Joplin was in the other room. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Wow.
She actually just put new music out, which I need to listen to. But yeah, Donna's fucking sick.
Take a listen to those artists you just heard, because you never know. Maybe they're the next person, but they deserve to be heard. Everybody deserves to be heard. I feel like.
It's true.
It's hard to find anything. I mean, if you're especially if you're on Spotify, even I find myself too, like going on. I have my liked songs I find, or I put something on shuffle, or I put a playlist, or I'll put whatever, and a lot of times I won't go actively search for something else. I'll just kind of So I think that it's important, especially with the way that Spotify works. They've got it set down to it, to a T for them and for what makes money. But there's so many artists and so many talented people that get left in the dust.
Yeah, things really can fly under the radar, and I think just making space for people to feel like making space to find people and making space for people's sound to live so that other people can find it easily is super important. And like one thing about the playlist is you can imagine there's just like every different type of music. There's like some, techno, like underground techno type stuff. And then there's like rock and roll vibes. And then there's like R&B, and then beautiful singer-songwriter stuff. It's like everything. So you're not going to a playlist for the sonics, but you're going to it for the community.
Right.
So
what's the playlist again? We're gonna put it on the
She, Her, They, and it's on all streaming.
Since you are a fellow DJ, I want to know, how did you get? Because I feel like it's always an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was in college. I couldn't afford at the time to come up with Serato decks, and I went and I found some like Newmark thing at Walmart with me and the guy who I was DJing with at the time. How did you get your start DJing?
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, I grew up like 30 minutes out of LA, and I was always super into music. I grew up as a dancer. So I was like,
Diamond Bar?
Diamond Bar. Shout out to Diamond Bar.
Shout out to Diamond Bar, California.
Shout out Diamond Bar. But yeah, I was like, on all the dance teams and doing all that stuff my whole life. So I was always very connected to music. And I was also always sneaking out to go to clubs, and I never partied like that. Like I never drank, I never did drugs or anything, but I just would love to go listen to music and dance. So I would be coming out here for like Dimmock Tuesdays and like all those parties that were going on. And so I was around DJ culture a lot, and like the AM days and all that. And my girlfriend at the time, my first girlfriend, she was filming the promo videos for the clubs, which, remember back in the day, everyone, like there was somebody taking photos of everything, and there's someone doing videos, and they would do like a recap video of the club night every week. I don't know. So I would get to sneak in with her. And so I loved it. And then going on from there, I started going to Low End Theory and just being more around LA beat scene, like Gaslamp Killer, Blind Lotus, and all that stuff. And I wanted to learn how to DJ, but as a woman, I was terrified, and I saw no one that looked like me. So I was like, I don't know if this is like a thing to do. Like, why would I do this?
Mm-hmm.
But I really wanted to. So it took me a couple years to like get the courage up to actually explore that. And I was actually at this one night at this place called the Crosby, which closed, but it was like Low End Theory for Orange County. Did you ever go there?
Yeah. Yes.
I fucking love the Crosby. But yeah, I was there, and somebody mentioned,
shout out the Crosby.
R.I.P. That place was amazing. But yeah, somebody was selling turntables, and I was like, okay, I just need to do it. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was working at MAC. I was a makeup artist, and I I was in college at Cal State Fullerton, and I was working for MAC doing makeup, and I was just like, whatever, like I'm just gonna learn. It'll be fun. So I buy some turntables, and thankfully, like I was friends with like Gaslamp Killer and other people in the community. One of my guy friends who worked at MAC was like the only straight guy who worked at MAC. He was like an old school scratch DJ. So after work, I would go over to his house, and we would have like DJ boot camp, and he would set me up with his turntables and his Serato, and or like he'd throw out some records on and make me practice, and he'd be in the other room being like, nope, fix it, nope, it's not right. I'm like, but yeah, so that was where I sort of got started, at least like experimenting, and I sucked so bad for so long. But then I started working at Dre's. So I got in a car accident and realized I didn't want to work at MAC anymore. I didn't want to do makeup. I was like, I need to change my life. And I got a job working for Dre's. And then Bo Burrows, shout out to Bo Burrows. He was the marketing director.
Silver Fox.
Yeah, he's the best. God. He was a marketing director. I was his assistant at the time. And he just believed in me. And he was like, I want you to I'm going to get you in so you can start DJing here. And I was like, okay. And at the time I was only playing I don't know, Erykah Badu and Jay Dilla type stuff. So it's not the Dre's vibe at all.
Right.
At all. But yeah, so he was pulling some strings with people and got me to be opening there for a few events. I think the first one was when Iggy Azalea first came out. She performed there that night with T.I. and I opened and I was terrified and I also sucked. But yeah, so I just got the support from there and I was just getting in as much practice as possible. It was DJ boot camp, having to learn on the spot there and be Victor Dre or some promoters being yo, you need to switch up for this vibe because someone's buying bottles. And I'm like, what do you mean? How do I even do that? But anyway, so I got a lot of practice with that. And then from there, by the pool, which was always house music only.
Yeah.
I ended up getting Saturdays by the pool. Sundays was the big pool day.
Yes.
Saturdays was the mellow day. I got that one. So I was playing it was 2012 and all the trap stuff was sort of bubbling and starting. I started playing stuff like that and, playing some throwback hip hop or whatever. Someone who worked for Kid Cudi at the time was there and they were like, hey, he's throwing a party. I think you should DJ. I want you to meet him. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? So yeah, I got put on and I got to play this party for Kid Cudi. Sorry, this is a long-winded story, but whatever.
I'm very interested.
So I DJed this random party for Kid Cudi that was at some really small bar, the one where you have to go through this Narnia type closet to get in. It was
a speakeasy or
it was a speakeasy.
Okay. That's cool though.
I think it was called La Descarga or something. But anyways, so I played this party and they're like, it's not paid. And I was like, okay, I'll do it anyways for the exposure.
Right, of course. The exposure, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do anything for exposure.
Honestly though, it paid off.
Do something for exposure.
Within reason. So I, before the party, I went to his house. He wanted to tell me the vision of the event and the vibe. And I was like, I got it, dude. I got it. Party was great. Didn't hear from him after. And I was like, that was great exposure. And then a month later, I get a text saying, hey, what are you, it was a Monday or Tuesday. And I was like, hey, what are you free this weekend?
Yeah.
Or are you free on Friday? It was Kid Cudi. He's like, I need a DJ for a show. Are you available? And I was like, yes, I am. He's like, are you available right now? We're at rehearsal. And I was like, I will be right there. And so I got off my ass and I went to rehearsal. And a week later, I was in front of thousands of people at Buku Fest in New Orleans. He was headlining. And that was my trial situation. I never DJed in front of that many people before. And I had to warm up the crowd and that's scary. And also I had never worked with an artist before. And he's very not militant, but he's very
he knows what he wants.
He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
He's got hand signals, he's got cues. You got to be on
hand signals to you.
Yes, DJ. For to pause this or do that or start it over. No, but it was just it would just be a quick look or quick hand thing, and so you had to really be on it. And so I was obviously fucking terrified, but it went well, and so I started being Kid Cudi's DJ while I was still in college. I was finishing up my last semester of school at Cal State Fullerton. So I'd be on a flight studying for a chem test that I had to take when I landed. And
I didn't know that story. That's awesome. That's crazy.
But from there, sorry, I'm keep going, but
oh, it's awesome.
We're getting there. The second show I did with him was a South by Southwest thing. And it was actually with Diplo. It was Hit Boy, Diplo, and Kid Cudi.
Okay.
And it was Climax, the years of Climax. So Usher was there for Diplo. Whatever, we play this party and I get off stage and it's dark and it's in this all the South by Southwest venues are random, weird, murky things. So I get off and somebody yo, are you actually DJing up there? And it was dark and I was I had my bag, I was packing up. And I was like, what the fuck did you think I was doing, knitting a sweater? And then I realized it's Usher, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I was just being pissy with Usher. So I kind of popped off, and then he laughed about it, and then he complimented me. He was like, you were playing some really good shit, because I DJed for a while before Cuddy went on. And yeah, he was just like, do you do any other events, or are you just exclusively with Cuddy? And I was like, no, I do other stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't on a rigorous touring schedule, so it was like, I was like, yeah, I do.
Not too rigorous.
Yeah. At the time, he didn't have like an album out, so he was just doing like spot dates. But he's like, let me get your number. Like, I need it. I have events all the time. And I was like, all right, Usher, sure.
Yeah.
And then a week later, I'm flying out to Atlanta to DJ for Usher in Jermaine Dupri's studio. And I thought it was going to be a party, because he kind of framed it as it's going to be a party. Flew me out first class. I'd never been first class before. I felt like so fancy. And I'm just like, okay, so like, what's the vibe for this thing? Like, thinking it's going to be an actual party. And all he says is like, this is your chance. Show me what you can do. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like, I just DJ on the spot?
Yes. No, like parameters, no anything. It was just like, show me what you can do. So I was like, wow. So I really prepped like all the like throwback Atlanta hip hop and R&B that I had, and all the like coolest new like beats and stuff that were coming out. And I DJ'd for literally just Usher, Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, who's another like incredible songwriter and producer, and his music director at the time in the studio. It was literally just them for like 3 hours. And we were just like, Brian Michael Cox would jump on and he'd DJ for a bit, and we were all just like dancing around and having fun. And after that, he's like, I want you to stay an extra day. I want to talk to you about your career. And I was like,
Okay. Yeah.
And then he was just like, you have so much potential. Like, your taste is impeccable, and I don't know how to help you, but I want to help you. And I didn't have a manager at the time. I didn't have an agent. I had no one. I was literally just by myself.
You still have the fake manager yourself.
I still had Denise.
Yeah,
yes. Denise organized my travel with Usher's team. Like,
of course. Yeah.
So yeah, from there, over the years, he's just been an incredible mentor. Like, when I first started trying to produce and making beats, I made this horrendous attempt at a remix way back then, and like would send it to him, and he's like, I don't know if this is really it, but like, he gave me some notes and would fly me out just to give him, just hang in the studio and be in the environment and give input on music he was working on. And I met my first manager through him, and
wow,
he would come anytime he was in town. He would come to my shows and be supportive. And still to this day, it's like anytime I have music come out, like, he's just there.
That's incredible. All right. I think that's a great time to go into our second drink. Okay. And the second drink is a drink that you picked. It's Whiskey Coke.
Oh, yeah.
You really broke the bank. But this is a classic. Everyone loves a Whiskey Coke. Who doesn't love a whiskey?
It's my go-to.
All right. Welcome back. So you might notice that our microphones sound a little different. Our microphones had an issue. They had a little boo-boo. So we were very tinny, and now we sound so full. Are you stroking your microphone?
Yes.
That's what we're going to sound. Now you can hear us in our real Dolby Digital voices here. So this drink is on round 2. This is the one you picked. Mm-hmm. This is Whiskey Coke, which is a classic. This is, who doesn't like Whiskey Coke? Now I'm going to sip it since I hadn't had it yet.
Go for it. Delightful.
That is really nice. That is quite nice. That is your drink of choice. Why is that your drink of choice?
I have a soda problem. I don't have any vices. I have one vice, actually, I guess, and soda. I love Coca-Cola.
Okay.
/ Pepsi even. I don't discriminate. But I love whiskey also. And so, you mix the two, and it's just like, I know what I'm getting. I feel like the fresh crispness from the soda, and then I get my little whiskey moment. It's a nice balance.
You should advertise whiskey sodas.
I should.
So this second section is always a hoot, and this is called Sip or Spill. So basically, I'm going to ask you a question. It might catch you off guard. Maybe it won't. And it depends on how wild you are. Okay, here we go. I got my little notes here. Is there a guilty pleasure that you have that no one knows about until right now?
Ooh.
I mean, besides like maybe like a partner or
okay,
like
I'm like, yeah, my girlfriend knows everything. Ooh, what's my guilty pleasure? I do sit in my car and eat cheeseburger Happy Meals by myself often. It brings me joy. And I have an incredible McDonald's hack if you'd like. I love a Big Mac.
Spill the tea, sis.
I love a Big Mac, but like that's too much of a commitment to fast food, you know? But I want the flavor. So what I do is I get a cheeseburger Happy Meal and I have them add the Big Mac sauce to the cheeseburger.
I got another one for you.
Tell me.
A McChicken.
Uh-huh.
Ask for no mayo, add mac sauce.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. I love a good McDonald's hack.
All right, so you're a big hip hop fan, hip hop head. I want to know, because there's a lot of songs out there, there's a lot of verses out there. What do you think is like the worst hip hop verse you ever heard?
I don't want to shit on this song because it's a fucking fantastic
No,
song.
absolutely hit on. Yeah.
It really speaks for a generation. But
Oh, wow.
one of the lines in it is so troubling to me that I can't. So this is A Bebe by Hurricane Chris. When
Wow.
I holler A Bebe, I finna get my groove on. It's so hot up in the club that I ain't got no shoes on. Who the fuck is walking around a club without shoes on? Who is walking around a club without shoes on? If I don't care how warm you are, why are you taking your shoes off?
But if something's hot, you don't take your shoes off.
And
I mean, unless
imagine
you're
walking
going across like Kohl's.
Are you walking around a sweaty, musty club with bare feet
That's
or
nasty.
socks? Either way, no. No. Why? Who wrote that? Who decided that?
Hurricane Chris, obviously. And you know what? It makes complete sense. I was just shown. He's in jail for murder.
Only a murderer.
Only a murderer would take off his shoes in the club.
Yes. That's a fact.
I'm surprised he didn't get murdered for walking around this.
Truly. What if he stepped on something? Nasty.
Or just walked around. Yeah, that's gross. Ooh. Yeah, but have you ever felt the club floor?
Exactly. Why would you want to walk around a club floor
Like
with
you
bare feet?
stick as you walk through the club.
Sticky, dirty, disgusting. Absolutely not. I can't trust anyone who does that. And the fact that somebody wrote that, reviewed it, probably recorded it multiple times and was like, yeah, I can't trust that. Mm-mm.
Nasty. Well, yeah, you've ruined my appetite for the rest of this interview. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, that was it. That was the end of Sip or Spill, which means we've come to our conclusion. You haven't finished your drink yet. You don't have to.
I'm gonna chug it. No, just kidding. I'm not. I'm gonna gently sip, delicately.
Okay, this is the last part of the show. I know it's the worst. You told me actually before we even started recording this that you hate shots.
I hate shots.
Why? What's your phobia for shots?
I don't like the act of having to swallow a large amount of something that doesn't taste good at once. It sounds really wrong. It sounds not well.
Sounds not well.
Sounds
You're
not
gonna
good.
get sampled on that for sure.
No, I'm not even good at taking I'm not even good at taking Advil. Like I have to snap my fingers and like focus to take.
Well, we don't have to take it. I mean, if
I want to conquer my fear.
Okay.
Also, I just don't like vodka.
So I don't know what this is yet. Okay.
Cute cup.
Very cute. Oh, thank you. Yes. These are
What if I
espresso
sip
cups.
it? Do I have to?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Okay. You must have had a guardian angel. Was that water?
Thank whoever did this.
Well, that really was a mystery shot. Apparently, we need to sober up. So that was the first water shot on kind of isolated, but well, that wasn't scary.
That I think I just conquered my fear.
I promise that was not planned.
And that conquered my
I
fear.
really hoped that would have been something more exciting, but you know what? Water shots. We're hydrated. We're feeling good.
That was exciting for me.
Thank you so much for being here. This is
You're
awesome.
welcome. Thank you
We
for
have a lot
having
of
me.
fun here. We have lots of laughs, lots of hoots. You tell everybody where they can check you out. Where are you on social media?
I'm on all the social medias, all of them. Any of them. You just look up I am Kittens and I will come up.
There
I'm
she
there.
is.
YouTube.
And I'm so jealous. You always
TikTok.
get such cool stuff. Like you just got something from Versace I just saw the other
Oh
day.
my god, yeah. That was very exciting though, because like I'm Persian. Like there's a thing with Persians and Versace. And I got emailed and they're like, hey, we want to send you some stuff. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I sent a screenshot to my dad. I'm like, Dad, anytime you like are questioning what I'm doing with my life, like Versace,
I know you made it.
They want to send me things.
Did you see that show, with the story about Versace that they had on?
No, God, I've been meaning to watch that.
It's a good show.
I've just been binging.
I wasn't
Grey's
paid by
Anatomy.
them, but yes. Thank you for being here. You're
Thank you for
amazing.
having
You're
me.
awesome. You're a
Likewise.
legend. She's one of the first people that booked me in Hollywood. And here we are now talking so many years ahead, taking water shots together.
Water shots need to be a thing. Can we make them a thing?
I mean, it probably should.
Right?
Between every drink, you should have a water shot.
Yeah.
Or at least more, probably a full glass of water. But
We need to make water cool in the club.
you can be the change you see in the world. Well, we're signing off here, kind of isolated with Kittens. Thank you as always. Sorry about the audio in the beginning, but sometimes it happens. I'm not perfect, okay?
Relatable moment.
Wave to everybody.